Okie dokie, absolutely stunning Tuesday, everyone. Sorry, I was running a bit late. The morning has been a bit hectic, so sorry about that. I'm a bit, probably like 10 minutes off the schedule. So my apologies. I am recording this now, so if you are not, obviously if you're not now in this live, which I'm streaming now from my site stellarpradamconsulting.com, then you can watch it obviously from from the blog, or the content plays afterwards. And hey, so this today we're going dive to the topic of consciousness hackers and system busters. Just a moment, I'm gonna share the keynote that I did for you. And I am not sure how familiar you are with these kind of topics. You should be able to see my face, but probably not. So you're gonna enjoy my voice now, which is still a bit low, and I might cough, so do not mind that. Okay, but consciousness hackers and system busters, those are terms that I use to describe those sort of kind of soul types, or like not soul codes, but codes of essences that refer to these certain types of like things. For example, if you have like the term soul family, it's similar. It's a very similar term to than that. So consciousness hackers and system busters are two different kind of expressions that both kind of like their motivation and focus is, when they come here, is to shift things around. And hence those consciousness hackers and system busters, they refer to this the higher expression and the higher version and the higher desires and higher motivations and such aspects of you, rather than just the personal or the human aspects. So it refers to the higher aspects desires more than to what your like human personality is like, if that makes sense. So consciousness hackers and system busters, they both have this innate desire and motivation, whether they are like woken to it or not, to shift things. And they have the desire to change systems, and but they do it differently. They have different strategy to achieve that, and they have different desires, which can manifest like when people have their internal motivation and they ask questions why. The why of consciousness hackers and system busters differ, but both of them have like come here to kind of shape things up a bit. Yeah. So consciousness hackers is, I have about 15 minutes before I need to continue my day, so we're gonna keep it in that time frame. So consciousness hackers are souls who come here to, well, basically just to be themselves, and thus but their internal motivation is to basically hack things like they want to shift things, and they do it by bringing things to the surface and shaking certain kind of structures deliberately, unconsciously or consciously. And their desire and motivation is based on justice, like their internal justice, and a little bit of rebellion. And both of those peeps, how they kind of like flow through their lives is doing their own thing, and their focus is very much on, you know, those things they can, that invoke well, they're like, they invoke their what's the word, invoke their, like, not the justice, they invoke their internal, what's the word for it, well, whatever. Yeah, and system busters, on the other hand, they have the same thing. They have unconsciously or unconsciously, whether they have woken up, like spiritually woken up, and like actually consciously understand, you know, their desire and motivation. They have the same basically desire to come here to shift things, but they do it very differently than consciousness hackers. System busters go deep into things. They go deep into certain life situations. They go deep into systems where there is something shady going on. They go deep into to places where it's a lot of like discord, or they go like something that needs to be like changed to have it to be more in like higher alliance. And they, I said, consciousness hackers, they have the same thing, but their motivation is, you know, their own internal justice system and, you know, rebellion and having fun, you know, with, you know, they don't do like, they obviously might have like some trauma or something, but it's not, that's not their full purpose to crack that trauma. It's like they might have it and they need to obviously work through it so that they can be more effective on doing, you know, what they're meant to be doing here. But system busters, they go personally and they go deep, which means that they go into these systems, into these structures, and so that they go like full dive, deep dive, so that they're able to understand it, and from like usually from very also very personal effect, especially if they are unconsciously doing it, then it's kind of like then they do it very much so it's intertwined with their personal life. However, you don't have to do it that way. Once you become conscious of it, you can, you know, start to like separate your field and your personal experience and your personal like creations from what you go there to do. But it usually requires like certain level of, you know, becoming conscious of what you're doing and why. And the desire for system busters also differs. It's, I just realized that I didn't even probably share the screen with you, so you have been seeing just like this. Wait, oh no. Yeah, I just realized I didn't share the screen with you, so you probably have just seen this like blob of white space. So my apologies from that. But I had a very beautiful keynote made for you. So system busters, they do it in that way, that their desire is to dive deep, understand, and then transform. So their intent, the desire is never to go in there and linger there. Their desire is to go in there and use their innate skills that they already have, and their innate like abilities, and abilities in a very spiritual way, in a higher way, you know, their energetic skills that they already possess. Use those things and go there. The motivation is to crack the code as fast as possible, and then to understand it and then share the, you know, the findings, so that it can become like visible. And thus, because they go into deep situations, the desire is that, you know, to bring it visible and share, you know, the findings, share, you know, how to crack it with others, so they're able to embark and embrace that large shift with, you know, with the whole with others who are going through similar things, which means then that they then change the thing energetically, because, you know, we're collectively, they go into these places, bring the antidote, and then, you know, energetically sharing it with others, thus creating change, actual change. Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen with you because I got annoyed that I didn't immediately show it to you and you had to watch like the black screen. So again, my apologies, but I'm gonna show it to you now. Screen, start broadcast, yes, please. No. Okay, screen broadcast should be happening. Should be happening now. Work. Okay, yes. So I am sharing screen now, so you get to see my keynote in there. So yeah, I don't think I left out anything. And my desire for you to share this information is basically the third row. The strategic outlet varies based on which one, because both of those peeps, when you want to get like huge results in your life and you want to, you know, you want to start to do what you came here to do, when you understand those desires and those motivations, you both get the chance to observe what you have been doing, and you get the chance to shift from the unconscious place to more conscious place and start to strategically to change the way you implement those things. And the strategic outlet on how to use your skills, energetic skills, in alignment with your core desires of like what those consciousness hackers and system busters want and desire innately, is different based on under which category it falls. Because for system busters, yes, it's about crack the code and share, and consciousness hackers, it's about utilizing their skill set, you know, in a project by project base. So it's different in a way that system busters, when they strategically start to, you know, do it, they need to usually focus more on letting go of those energetics out of their system, you know, those things that they came here to do, and getting those teachings out of them and getting those like lessons learned, getting those like how did they actually crack the code, getting out of that and having, you know, the more consciousness awareness to it, and then finding the outlet on how to share, what to share, and in a way that it benefits both you and those people that you can share your knowledge with. And for consciousness hackers, it's more about finding about their energetic skill sets and developing their energetic awareness and energetic abilities, and unlocking certain new things within them, and those that they can then use in their lives, and in those justice-based projects they have decided to do. Let's say, think about, for example, like guerrilla gardening. It's very hacker oriented thing. It's rebellious, and it's justice, and it's does good for the planet. Well, based on plants, you decide to guerrilla garden. And for system busters, it's yeah, I said, it's more about coming out of those chosen systems and getting on learning what was in there, and utilizing both the higher connection and higher understanding, and then starting to do the work of spreading that thing. And one highly important thing, I'm gonna start the screen share now. One of the highly important thing to one of the highly important things to understand and to learn from both of them is that there isn't only just one project. This is kind of like, this is what you have been doing basically all your lives, and usually it's your soul or your higher consciousness, they kind of like choose those things, like, hey, this sounds fun, I'm gonna do this. And if you're unconscious, your human mind is not up to date with it, so it's like, what the fuck I'm doing here? And then, but your energetic skills still do the things that they were meant to be doing in there, but it's just like very unconscious of you, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? And there are like multitude of things and projects you have been like, that consciousness hackers and system busters have been like taking on. So it's kind of like, those assignments. It's like, hey, I want to be like involved in this area and in these projects. And it's coming from a very higher level awareness of like, ooh, this could be fun. Let's do this. And then you go in and dive in them. And there are like plenty, like numerous of projects and, topics or areas that you want to shift. And the same thing with the consciousness hackers. They have like these different projects, like, ooh, this could be fun thing to be involved in. Ooh, I want to, check out that system and how to like see what is in there. It's very much the same thing. So it's not only like one. And when you become conscious, you can use your skills much easier and more efficiently, and you can channel your life force, not channel, but circulate your life force energy very more conscious way, which is you tapping into more into your power. Okie dokie. And this is gonna be about to be wrapped up. If you have any questions, do send them to me. I was supposed to be having a Q&A at this. So Mr. N, so sorry. It's gonna be done on Thursday. I'm holding this Thursday another live stream, and there is gonna be, at the end of it is gonna be this Q&A part where where you get a chance for me to check your field, see what is in there, and how's your alignment with the internally, and what is possibly blocking you with anything. Yes. superb to be talking with you, and sorry about the screen share. I'm bummed about it, but yeah, have a gorgeous Tuesday.